talk about how focused you guys were on getting back to Fort Myers and bringing home the championship again.
Honestly, I can really say it was really our senior class. We all played for each other the whole year, though, like between fall leading up to the season. Like it's a special group of guys, and we just wanted to go out with a bang with each other and like play for each other the whole year, and that's kind of like where our focus has been, and it kind of helped us get through the season. So that's kind of how it went.
How do you feel your senior season went? Because to me, and we've had this discussion, you know how much I think of you as a player, but you were like, you took a level even higher during season. Did you feel the game either slowing down, you're kind of picking up on things, and that your game was improving?
Honestly, it did feel like my game was improving. But I just feel like the more games I played, the more pitching I saw, the more reps I got. Honestly, the game did slow down for me, and that's kind of how my season went. Just the more I played, just the better I got.
Yeah, and as a leadoff guy, and you really accepted that role. You didn't try to get out of yourself, and you know, you were doing stuff that if you got to get on base, you could get on base. You could, you know, a walk, a hit, whatever in your approach. Was that your mindset? Whatever what the moment called for?
Yeah. Whatever helps the team win, and obviously with my skill set, that's speed, getting on base, and stealing bases. So that's how I approach the game. That's how I want to like help my team win. So.
What were you going to remember the most about this trip to Fort Myers?
What do I remember the most? Really just, it was my last 2 high school baseball games with the team, and really just being around those guys. I love those guys to death, and something I'll never forget.
Yeah, it was special. And you know, we're pushing. You know, we know that big league teams are looking at you. We know the draft's a definite possibility for you. How did you kind of, and I know that you're ambitious and want that to happen, but how did you kind of not get ahead of yourself and continue to play hard to impress the scouts?
Honestly, don't get me wrong. I was nervous for a better part of it, but honestly, it just comes down to trusting myself. I know what I could do on a baseball field. I just have full confidence in myself, and just whenever I step on the field, I just slow everything down and let my game work.
Yeah, so you know, it certainly did. What part of your game do you want to work on moving forward, whether it's college or the pros?
Well, I feel like right now my arm strength, obviously it made a big jump between fall, obviously through the spring season, but I feel like that's part of my game that I could still work on and improve.
Well, you made a good read the other day because you didn't throw home. You knew they got a sacrifice fly, but you got a huge out at third to prevent a big inning. Is that what someone say 3, or in your mind where you're like, hey, we don't have a play at the plate? But
yeah, no, in my mind, I felt like I didn't have a play at the plate. The ball was kind of in the gap, so I knew what the kind of like the game was going, that the runner was trying to take extra base, so I just thought to throw it to 3.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel your base stealing has been this year? Because obviously the numbers will speak, but how do you feel in terms of jumps, reading, you know, leads and such? Where are you in that part of your game?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm around like 38 stolen bases. So obviously, like the numbers will speak, but I feel like I can still improve. But on like the mental side of like stealing, I guess, and just reading pitching tendencies and catcher tendencies and stuff like that. So that's something I still can improve on.
And we saw some power. We saw some power come in there too, even though we don't know if you're going to be a 30-homer guy in the big leagues. But you know, you can hit the ball into the gaps and drive it.
Yeah, that just goes back to like the more games I played, the more reps I got. The ball just started looking like a beach ball to me, and we just started finding it.
Well, Jordan Rich's game is certainly finding it. We enjoyed covering this here, Jordan. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Joe.